What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Kaiki here, and I'm back with another one. So it is tier list time. So funny thing, this is actually my third time recording this, cause first two times the videos are way too long, man. I was talking for like a whole hour, didn't even notice. So I was like, nah, man, I'm finna cut this. This is just way too long. I don't expect y'all to watch this. But no, not talking about that. So obviously, this is this month's tier list for February, my month's tier list for February, whatever. You guys know how I do my tier list, man. This is not my tier list. I did not set the tier list up, but I'm going to be critiquing and moving certain units around in certain tiers based on how I feel, if they deserve to be in certain tiers or if they don't be in certain tiers. And I'm going to be giving my thoughts on why I feel like some of these units should be moved around in certain tiers as we go along. So now that you guys understand how the tier list works, let's just get straight into it. Before I actually start talking, shout out to Soundax and Devil Todioki. They're the ones who actually set this tier list up, so big shout out to them. I know I think they're in like Nazarachi's Facebook group or something like that. So shout out to Nazarachi as well, because he already did his version to this tier list. But I like doing my own thoughts, and you guys know I don't like setting these tier lists up because they would take me a long time if I decided I'd make a video where I'm setting it up and talking about it. Probably like 2 hours. So no, I just like taking random tier lists off the internet and giving my opinions on them. So enough talking. Let's just get straight into it because I feel like I've already been talking for too long. So he did create a Beyond Broken tier, and here we have Fat Boo and we have Zenkai, Wick, and Beerus. Now, in my personal opinions, I'm not gonna get into in depth talking about these guys personally. Mostly because it's hard for me to evaluate these units because it all ranges sometimes based on how high you may have your Zenkai Wicken unit and like how much investment you have in them. But personally, I'm just gonna give my quick thoughts on them, and then but take this with a grain of salt. Like, remember, when I'm talking about any of the Zenkai units, take it with a grain of salt because I feel like my opinions can easily change just because it's hard for me to evaluate these units. So there's that. So Zenkai Wicken Beerus, I feel like he's definitely worthy of being in the broken tier from what I've seen. And Zenkai Wick and Fat Boo, I think he might just be I think he just might be Z. Like I said, take my opinions on these Zenkai Wicken units with a grain of salt. I'm only going off of what I've seen because most of these Zenkai Wicken units I don't have Zenkai Wicken, or they're only Zenkai Wicken 1, so I can't really see their true potential. So I'm not talking about those two units in broken tier. Let's get into Z tier. So I love Vegeta. Don't need to speak on him. One of the best units in the game still. Yellow Gohan, still one of the best units in the game. Don't need to speak on him. SSJ for Goku, still. I made an argument that he could be debatable Z tier, last most tier list, but now that I've got to use him a lot more, even more since then, I must say, man, SJ4 Goku is a monster, man. Like, he just has so much utility in his bag, being able to heal every time he goes into standby, or is it every time he goes into standby, or every time he comes in a match? It's one of them. I can't remember off the top of my head, but heals every time he appears, right? He heals. He has a damage reduction, recovers so much ki just every time he just recovers ki. Has reduced art card cost. Just so amazing, bro. He's just a phenomenal unit in just almost every aspect, and I definitely for sure think that he's Z tier now. So I'm not talking about that. No green Ssb Vegeta. Don't really need to talk about him. He's definitely worthy of being a Z tier. Really wish I had this unit, but no, still an amazing, phenomenal unit, almost around in every way. Has a good amount of defensive utility. Very powerful offensive unit. Just really phenomenal unit. Now, Super Baby 2, right? Super Baby 2, I don't feel like he's Z tier. I feel like, I guess with certain combinations, I guess some people could have to get the impression that he's Z tier. But like I said, when I'm doing my tier list, I like to talk about the unit individually and their kits mostly, and then sometimes I may bring up their team build. It depends on the scenario, but most of the time I'm looking at the unit individually as in their kit. And Super Baby 2 is just not Z tier when I look at him individually. So no, I don't think Super Baby 2 is Z tier. That's just my personal opinion. Don't get it twisted. He's a major support unit. He's definitely S+, a major support unit for both Regen and GT, but don't think he's Z tier. Don't think he's Z tier. So we have oh shit. All right, so Charlotte, right? Charlotte, I don't think Charlotte is Z tier at all, bro. I'm sorry, but his base transformation is so ass, bro. I cannot put him in Z tier. I know a lot of people will be like, bro, but you're not even gonna be seeing his base transformation like that, but like, bro, his base transformation is garbage, bro. And there are going to be times where you may make a mistake. If you manage to make one mistake and you end up bringing out Charlotte even once, he's dead, bro. Charlotte cannot take a hit in his base transformation. His stats are extremely low, even by a hero standards. Even his base transformation is so trash. Now, even though at SJ3 his SJ3 transformation is so good, I feel like that heavily holds it like him back a little bit. Like if they let us choose our base transformation, like make SJ2 our base transformation, SJ1 in the future, then definitely I think like Shallow will be able to rise up to being fully Z tier. But his base transformation is so ass. Maybe if SSJ3 wasn't timed, I probably would debate this, but him SSJ3 being a time transformation, as good as it is, it's an amazing transformation. He does a lot of damage in. As good as it is, I feel like his base transformation being so butt, I cannot put him in Z tier in my personal opinion, bro. I feel like it holds him back from being Z tier, but no, S plus. I feel like he is S plus, and I don't think that a lot of people are arguing with that because his damage is crazy once he go SSJ3, but time transformation and very bad base transformation, I feel like that heavily holds him back, and I feel like that's the reason why like he's only gonna be like S plus S. Like you could debate if he's S if you want to, but he's definitely S plus S, somewhere around there. But no way in hell do I think that Charlotte, even with SJ3, as amazing as the form is, no way in hell do I think he's Z tier. So let's get into S plus. So SJ4 Vegeta. Now a lot of people were going super stir crazy last month when they were like, yo, how come you don't think that SJ4 is Vegeta Z tier? I mean, it wasn't a lot of people, but it was a few people. I don't think he's Z tier for a lot of reasons. He's definitely is S plus. He's an amazing phenomenal unit. It's mostly just because he's just an offensive juggernaut. Like, he's definitely hits really hard. He's super hard. He's an amazing offensive unit. But I think a lot of people were getting it twisted. When you run him and SJ4 Goku together, the synergy they have is just amazing. And a lot of people were just thinking, oh, he's Z tier. But when you use SJ4 Vegeta on other teams, you start to see where he's just an amazing, phenomenal offensive unit. But outside of that and being semi-support unit, he doesn't offer that much to the table, and he doesn't really have that much utility outside of just being an offensive juggernaut and just be able to bring a good amount of semi-support with his main ability. But that I feel like that does stop him, and plus he's a glass cannon and he can't really take a hit. While I feel like that does stop him from being Z tier, that does not stop him from being a phenomenal unit, and he's definitely like S plus. Some people get mad when their favorite unit is not in Z tier. Like, bro, just because he's not in Z tier, then does not mean that he's not one of the best units in the game. He's still one of the best units in the game. He's still one of the most hardest hit units in the game. So don't ever get that twisted. I still feel like SJ4 Vegeta is not Z tier though. Definitely S plus. That's just my personal opinion of how I feel on him, especially after using him a lot more since last month's tier list. So, okay, LF Goku, he did get knocked down a tier. I guess this makes sense because the changes they made to PvP in December did slightly nerf no passive gameplay, kind of, to a certain extent. That's like a whole nother topic for another video. But it did kind of slow down like how consistent it is to get off his counters effectively. And a lot of people just know to play smart around him nowadays. Like I always been saying ever since the day he came out, like just play smart when you're playing this, like when you're going up against this guy, and in most cases it'll work out. I mean, sometimes it didn't, but ever since they changed did balance changes the PvP, his counter isn't that like easy to get around now. So that's the reason why I feel like he probably did get knocked down to Z tier, which makes sense. But you can make the debate that he's still a Z tier. You definitely can make the debate that he's still a Z tier. Personally, I still feel it makes sense why he's in S plus now, but I still feel like he might be Z tier. But still one of the most dangerous offensive units in the game. Still one of the best last man standing units in the game. He's just still really good. Don't get discouraged just because he got knocked down a little peg, but he's still one of the best units in the game. Green Gogeta, a lot of people don't like this unit. They feel like he's too much of a glass cannon, which I feel like most of the offensive units in the game always come in with that aspect, like just being super not takey. I don't know why people always say that every time a new crazy powerful offensive unit come in. They're like, yo, bro, he's a glass cannon. Like, bro, I understand it. It makes sense. He is, but I like that's most offensive units that come out. Like, there are only a few offensive units that can just tank really well and also just be an offensive juggernaut as well. So there's that. But he is a very powerful unit, very powerful offensive unit, and he's exactly what not regen. He's exactly what fusions needed. Fusions really needed a new green unit because their green options were nothing really too crazy. So he really fills that void for fusions, and it's just another hard hitter on their team, which really helps them out a lot. So Cell, so somebody actually decided to knock my boy Cell up. Now you guys know how I feel about Cell. I always say this every video, so I'm not gonna speak on him too much longer. I'm not gonna speak on him for too long. Cell is still one of the most impressive units in the game. The fact that he has aged so well. There aren't that many units in this game that have lived, the test of time, like Cell and stuff like that. There are only like a few units that have that are as old as him and are still getting older and still able to be, viable in PvP at a high level. So Cell's still an amazing unit. Not gonna get into any depth why I feel like he's S plus. Some people may feel like he's only S. It's debatable, but I definitely feel like he's deserving S plus. Cell is still a phenomenal unit, still a staple unit for region. Like I know that they have that Legends role Piccolo, but I'm sorry, man. Cell is just better. I'm gonna bring Cell every time. I just got it too, man. Cell is a monster. So Blue Goku, he's an amazing, phenomenal unit. Don't really need to speak him too much. I was kind of hard on this unit when he first came out because I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling him, but over time he has aged very, very well. As God Key has gotten a lot more options, I have come to like that Blue Goku a lot. Really, really amazing. Still one of the best units, even though he's no 1 year anniversary unit, about to be going on a year old in just about 3.5 months probably. So really, really good. So here we have Buhan. Buhan is amazing. He's really, really stupid. Don't really need to speak him too much. Probably one of the best offensive units in the game. Also a staple unit for regen. I feel like I also can't, like, he's my go-to green option. Even though they have the Zenkai Wick and Fat Boo. Like, he's good defensively if you want to go for the defensive type route. But let's be honest, man. Buhan is just a lot more funny to use than that guy. Buhan is a monster, man. I remember people were sleeping on Buhan during the anniversary. But it makes sense because Vegeta was everywhere in him. It was hard, man, being a regen player doing the anniversary because Vegeta would just body him, bro. It was just not even fair. So there's that. So Reginember is a phenomenal unit. He's really, really good. He really put Regen into the spot that I wanted him to be with Kid Buu. Kid Buu was just such a, bro. I don't want to like throw the dirt on him, but Kid Buu was just such a disappointment for me, personal opinion. And this guy, UST unit that nobody expected to be a UST unit, which I said before, came and just swept the feet and took Kid Buu's spot as the top tier right unit for regen, and he put the team in such a nice spot. His green card is amazing, does a good amount of damage. I know he has his green card also immobilized. Like, he's just in a phenomenal unit. If you guys seen, like, I love you using that regen, but like, I really wanted regen to be good for a long time, and he really helped with that. So Blue Vegeta, this guy is actually I have my thoughts about this guy just because they also dropped a new transforming Blue Vegeta, and I feel like that new transforming Blue Vegeta that they dropped, I feel like he nowhere is near to replacing this guy. That's just my thoughts, but no, this guy is still one of the best melee units in the game. Not really much of a debate, and it's not really much to talk about. Like, one of the best transformation units in the game, just because his transformation is only 5 time count, so you're almost never gonna see him in his base form. One of the hardest hitting melee units in the game. Has blast armor, heals with his special move. Just still one of my favorite melee units in the game. And plus, it's my boy Vegeta. Not trying to be biased here, but he's fire. Definitely worthy of S plus, man. Definitely worthy of S plus. So here we have Bojack. Bojack, you can make the debate that he's still Z tier. His cover SU is still just on a whole nother level. There's no other cover SU in the game that does what Bojack does. Like, Bojack can stop anything. Stop anything but Rise Rushes pretty much. But if you play smart, I guess it's not easy to get around. It's still annoying to get around, but you just gotta play. He's one of those units you just gotta play really smart when you're going up against Bojack. But Bojack is still really impressive. Still one of the hardest melee units in the game. And you can make the debate that he is Z tier. Now Rose, a lot of people didn't like my first opinions on Rose. I feel like Rose was just like, he was really, really good, but I feel like he was just missing that one thing to put him in Z tier. And a lot of people were just rushing to put him in Z tier when he first came out. And I was like, nah, I just don't see it. After testing him out, because I did pull him like 6 times off of that step up banner. So I tested him out that said day, played like 30 matches with him. I had a lot of fun using him, but just didn't feel like he was Z tier. But definitely worthy of being S plus. Don't get it twisted. Still a phenomenal unit. Still a great offensive unit. His debuffing is just amazing. The fact that you don't even have to you just have to be on the squad, and just as soon as the battle starts, he's debuffing the team. Like, that's just an amazing thing. That's like Rose is one of his best assets. Really phenomenal unit. So transforming Trunks, like, he's really good. I feel like you can't really run Vegeta family without him, because he just makes that team work really good. I just don't like that he's a time transformation unit. Like, if he wasn't a time transformation unit, I mean, he would be something dangerous, man. He would be something crazy. It makes sense, but I understand it because he hits so hard when he's in that transformation. I can understand of why he's a transformation, but that's always gonna get minuses in my book. The time transformations just aren't really. They're not personally. They're just not really like. I just feel like it takes away from the unit in some cases, but I understand for some cases, for some units, just because they hit so hard. But it's like time transformations are never going to get a W in my book. So you can make the argument that he's just S, but S plus, I think that is a nice spot for him. He hits really, really hard, bro. Really, really hard. Amazing unit. So, Transforming Gogeta, he's an amazing unit. Don't really need to speak on him for too much longer. I feel like he's also one of those units that's really, really going on like almost a year old. It still is like very like PvP viable on a competitive capacity, even though he's really, really old compared to some other units. Like units that are as old as him, not a lot of units that are as old as him have aged as well as him. So he's just a phenomenal unit around. I made a special move. Don't really need to speak on him too much longer. All right. Oh boy, let me take a deep breath before I do this, man. So alright, so LF Spirit Bomb Goku, the green one, right? Now, after he's got his platinum equip, I must say, I'm still not impressed by this unit. I know a lot of people, like, they get a little offensive when I talk about this unit because I always kind of throw dirt on him. But that's because I feel like he just could have been so much better. And even with his platinum equip, he just does not impress me. Like, he still fails to impress me. And I think this, bro, in my personal, like, his unique abilities, bro, they just suck to me, right, bro? They're just not that impressive for an LF unit. But I'm not even going to linger on that for too long because I've talked about this unit so many times. And I talked about why I'm so disappointed by this unit every time. Feel like he's still probably on the bottom barrel of LF units. That doesn't mean he's terrible. He does have his utility, but he's just not that impressive to me. Like, just personally, just going off his kit compared to other LF units, it's just so mad to me. I just never could get down with him. But that's just my personal opinion, right? A lot of people still really like that unit. So there's that. So Red Vegeta, I don't really need to speak on for too much longer. Like, he's one of the best tanks for fusions. Like, he's really annoying to deal with his lock-in. Not going to speak on for him any much longer. He's just definitely worthy of S tier. You can make a debate that he's only S plus, but no. I'm okay with him being an S plus. EX now, he's a monster. He's basically like LF Vegeta, but for region in an EX. So that's just a crazy combination to have in an EX. So he's really, really good. Don't really need to speak on him. I think he's probably their best purple unit, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, my personal opinion, I think he is region's burst. I think he is region's best purple option in my personal opinion. He's just in a phenomenal unit, all around, just really amazing. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody when it comes to purple options for region, but off the top of my head, he's the best purple option I can think of. I may be forgetting somebody, maybe. So here we are going to S. So here we have Hit. Now a lot of people have their opinions on Hit. A lot of people say, yo, his defense is trash, and he doesn't have any tags. And then, okay, I understand that. Not trying to say anything about people. Those are all true facts. But I feel like just because of that, don't Hit is amazing, bro. Like, Hit was designed, you can obviously tell that they designed him with the fact that they knew that Universe 6, his only tag, was never really going to get that much development anytime soon. So that's why they built him around the whole yellow blue setup, and it still works to this day. Maybe not be as effective because there are a lot more red units in the meta that are powerful compared to when Hit first came out, but no, Hit still is an amazing unit. And you could just slap Hit on any team and he still just does stupid things. I have a video, I just have videos where I was just doing random weird teams, and I just slap Hit on there and he still hits. With nobody buffing him, he still hits like a brick. Hit is an amazing unit, but because of his flaws, that's the reason why I never put him higher than S plus and C. But I feel like Hit is gonna be in that S plus bracket for a long time. Don't ever sleep on that, bro. Hit is an amazing unit. Hit is crazy, bro. So Golden Frieza is really, really good. You can make the debate that he's still S plus, but I guess I can understand why some people put him in S. But he's still he's just the Saiyan killer, bro. He still puts Saiyans in a body bag. Still really crazy. Still a phenomenal unit, offensive unit. Still a glass cannon, but no, still crazy. One of the best offensive units in the game, in my personal opinion. His blast damage is just stupid. He just bodies everybody. Still a really, really amazing unit. Full power Frieza, I'm okay with him being an S. That's just about right where I'll put him. I don't think he's any higher than that. All the units above him just do a lot more compared to what he does, but he's still a phenomenal defensive unit, especially for LOE. Holds them up defensively. So here we have the transforming Frieza, not Frieza. Here we have the transforming Purple Cooler. Also for a pretty good defensive unit. I personally have never been that much impressed with him, but I feel like he is worthy of S tier. Don't think he's anything higher, in my personal opinion. Like he like bro, he has his utility as a defensive unit, semi-support unit, but he's just never been that crazy in my personal opinion. But it's definitely a really, really good unit. Alright, now Zenkai Wick and Goku, he's just like, bro, after using him a little bit more, I don't really like this unit, bro. Like, he's good, but that's why it's so hard for me to evaluate Zenkai Wick units, because I use him, but I don't have him Zenkai Wick in 3 or 5, so I don't have those last 2 unique abilities to use him to his full potential. So I'll leave him at S just because of that, because I don't want to speak on these units too much, and then I might change my opinion just because I may get them Zenkai Wicked later in the future whenever they decide they're going to make it more free-to-play friendly, because I'm not summoning those Zenkai Wicked banners, but I'll leave Zenkai Wicked Goku at S. He's an amazing comeback last man standing unit, but I was about to say I'm not a big fan of him, but like I said, Zenkai units, I'm not going to get too in-depth talking about them because it's hard for me to evaluate them. Now, the new Purple God Goku. This guy is he's a really solid option. I don't think he's anything too crazy, but he's still really, really good. He's a good all-around unit. Has a good amount of offensive utility. Green card is amazing. He has one of the best green cards in the game, in my personal opinion. Like recovering 50 ki, and then debuffing your enemy, and then like buffing your allies. It's just an amazing green card, one of the best in the game. And I feel like he does replace that Ssb Vegeta that's been in the game since the 1 year anniversary, because that guy was kind of falling off. So that's enough about God Goku. It's an amazing unit, definitely worthy of S. My opinions may change on him in the future, but right now I think S is a good spot for him. Ssb Kaioken, not much I can really say about this unit as far as he's just an amazing offensive strike unit. But no, time transformations never get a plus in my book, so S plus is just about where I'll put him. But he still hits really, really hard. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that at all. He hits it really, really hard. Even outside of his transformation, he still does some really good damage, but 30 timer counts is just not it, man. I just don't feel like time transformations make for the most effective units. And like it may start off good at first, but they always like die off a lot earlier than other units, in my personal opinion, when they have these time transformations. That's just my personal opinion. So EX Whis, don't really need to speak on him too much. Like Whis is one of the best EXs in the game. Don't really see him as much as often, because the God Key team has kind of shifted a little bit, because there's so many new units that they gotten, and I feel like a lot of times you only really see Whis when somebody has Zenkai Wick and Beerus, because they're like the ultimate duo. But outside of that, you don't really see him as much anymore, because there are just a lot more options for units on God Key now. And I think that because a lot of people don't have Zenkai Wick and Beerus, they kind of just slid this guy off the team to make more spots for the new God Key units, stuff like that. So there's that. So Ssb Vegeta, like I said, I feel like out of all the 1 year anniversary units, he has not aged as well as the others. Like all the 1 year anniversary units, like look at where they're at. Like they're still up in S plus, almost Z tier, and they're about to be going to almost a year old. He is not really up to par with them. His kit did not stand the test of time like his other 1 year anniversary brethren. But no, he's still a solid option for God Key. But I feel like the new God Goku, Purple Goku, definitely took his spot. In my personal opinion, still a decent option, but no, I definitely feel like he hasn't aged that well. Transforming Android 13, personally, I'm not really the biggest fan of this guy. Still a pretty good unit for Android, but personally, I don't know what it is. Like, bro, it's like his kit is not even that bad. It's just every time I use him, it's just something just don't feel right. It's just one of those cases where maybe it just maybe come down to me in personal preference, but he just never really impressed me too much. Like he can do some really, really good damage, especially if he's the last man standing. Maybe it's because it takes him a while to get warmed up. Maybe that's what it is. But no, that's my personal opinions on him. I know that one was kind of a little controversial, but it's just one of those cases where it's just that one unit. Like I don't know, when you use them, it just don't feel right. It's really hard to explain. It's really hard to explain, because I try and bring as much facts to the table as possible, but with that one, it just wasn't really that much facts. It's just kind of more just a gut feeling. I know that's kind of weird, but there's that. So Android 17, so he's one of the last units to get buffed by the old way they used to buff people. So he's like what can I say, a relic of an old time, right? And I must say, he has fallen off a lot. I can understand why some people probably even put him in A, because he just doesn't hold up to the testament of how the way they go about buffing the new units. it's just the way they buff the new units. They're a lot more powerful, but of course they found the way to monetize it, so it doesn't. I don't know. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, but he's still a decent option for androids. Still a good defensive option. He still can tank really good off coming off a damage cut, but personally he's just nothing too crazy anymore in my personal opinion, and I have him 13 stars, so he's falling off a bit in my personal opinion. So there's that. Zamasu, I don't know why Zamasu is an S. I don't feel like he's S. I know some people have been testing him out with Super Baby 2 because he buffed his health restoration and stuff like that, which I can understand why some people probably want to bump him up, because he runs really good on that setup as a far like a super annoying ass tanky option. But I still don't feel like he's that impressive anymore. His kit is still pretty bad and by today's standards, so I don't think he's S. I still he's still A, but like I said, with certain setups, some people like bump certain characters up because they work well under certain conditions on certain teams. But personally, Zamasu is I don't think he's S in my opinion. Still don't think he's S, even with Super Baby 2 buffing him behind him, right? So there's that. So Zenkai, Wick, and Broly. I only have this guy Zenkai Wick 1, and like I already said, I don't want to get too in depth with these Zenkai Wick units because it's hard for me to judge them. But if I'm just going off of what I've used him as Zenkai Wick 1, he's just okay for me personally. I think S tier is just right about where he deserves to be. Definitely has a good amount of utility, like with the lock-in and stuff like that. No, the extra damage he does to Goku units, but besides that, none too crazy. None too crazy. Personally, for what I used him as Zenkai level 1. But no, opinions can change because Zenkai Awakening, there's so many other more levels that I haven't gotten on those units when it comes to the Zenkai Awakenings. EX Broly, Yellow Broly, he's still pretty impressive. Android 13, he's a really good blast unit for androids. Super 17, he's really good. I like him a lot more versus like last month because I did pull him and I did get to use him on androids and GT. I really do. He is a very impressive unit, but no, S tier is just about where I put him. He does have a good amount of utility. That paralyzed is annoying to deal with. Just all around a really solid unit. Amazing cover rescue too as well, if you use it right, because a lot of people use it when somebody's about to go into a strike card and they end up getting clapped. But there's that. So here we have LF Go. I was about to say Goku. Here we have LF Gohan, and I must say, bro, LF Gohan, it's sad to say, but he has fallen off just a bit. Like, he's still an amazing last man standing unit. Don't ever get it twisted. I still feel like he's one of the best last man standing units in the game. But to be honest, that's just not really all that special anymore. Like at the time when he came out, last man standing units would, it feel like all of them were just broken, bro. I feel like you can easily just destroy anybody. You can just let your whole team die and it wouldn't matter. But now that's not really all that special anymore. It's a lot easier to get around these type of units. And plus, like, for his ultimate to do like super rise and rush level damage, he has to let a Goku die. So they kind of made it where his team was built more around for him to be running on Sun Family. So I feel like that limited him to a certain extent. So I feel like it's very debatable. Like, it makes sense why he did get knocked down a peg. You can make the debate that he's S+, but I can definitely understand why he's an S now. No, he has fallen from grace as being the first LF unit, but still, he's still viable in PvP to a certain extent. But no, just not as good as he once was. But he's still really good. Don't get that twisted. So we're done with S. So I guess now I can get more into like the honorable mention part section. Because I'm gonna just swiftly glide through A. Then we're just probably just gonna glance at some other units that I may feel be in certain places. So there's that. So A, let's just get straight into it. Let's swiftly just go through this. So Cooler, really a good support unit, still a good support unit for LOE. Don't think he's any more than that at this point. He's kind of falling off, but still a very decent option for LOE. And you still see him a lot if you see a LOE build, because the crits and stuff that he gets LOE are amazing. Mai has fallen off. She's still a good support unit for future, but her damage is kind of I mean, she has an increased art card draw speed and all that stuff, but no, there's that. But personally, she just gets bodied by almost every unit in the game. She needs like she needs a buff in my personal opinion. But future as a team right now is just not really all that good in my personal opinion. They have too many green options from what I've seen. This red Kid Goku, really good, but he's just only a mid-tier option if you don't have no a red option for GT or Son of Family. But no, still really solid unit. He's fun to use, but personally he's not too crazy. Has a part of his passive that he's only going to be able to utilize once, which is him buffing his ultimate. I feel like that holds him back just a little bit. LF Goten, right? LF Goten, this guy, Goten is my boy, right? I like Goten, man, as a character in general, but man, the way that they restrict him to him being only built around Sun Family at the time, it seemed good, but now that the game is starting to age and it's gone through so many changes, him being restricted to almost one team kind of does hold him back a lot. So I feel like that's the reason why he's an A. It's sad to really see it, man, to see an LF unit A, but no. Not every LF unit is built the same, in my personal opinion. I still feel like his kit is still really good. I just feel like it's too restrictive to him being built around Sun Family, and I feel like that holds him back. In my personal opinion, I probably would still slide him in S though. Not gonna lie. It's debatable. Now the dude transforming Vegeta, right? So this guy put him in A tier, so that's interesting. To be fair, I probably would put him in low S. It is definitely debatable, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't really like the way they decided to go about handling this unit and the way he's set up. They drop a transforming Vegeta that's blue and buffs Vegeta family when we already have a transforming Vegeta that's blue and buffs Vegeta family. Like that's so dumb, bro. And it like, bro, in the current blue Vegeta that buffs Vegeta family, the transform one is still like one of the best units in the game, like I've already said. So I feel like that really holds him back. Then this guy damage is also completely based off of combo damage. Plus, if you guys don't know, they actually nerfed combo damage twice. They nerfed it, not really nerfed it, but they actually adjusted it. You can call it a nerf or whatever. During the one anniversary, when they did the first balance changes to PvP, to the gameplay, they nerfed it, the combo damage, and then a second time they did that again just in December, where they nerfed made adjustments to how combo damage went through. So the way it works is just like the longer your combos are, it's meant to like where I guess it was a mechanic to make it where you can't just one shot a unit in one combo completely, or make it harder for you to one shot a unit in one combo. I think that was the purpose of it. So them doing that, nerfing like combo damage, it does hold him back because his whole kit basically based around combo damage. And the way they set him up is so weird. Like, bro, he barely gets an upgrade when he transformed from his Super Saiyan form to God Vegeta. So really don't like the way they set up this unit. Don't like the way they did his Z ability. Don't like the way they did his kit. I'm really disappointed by this unit. But no, that doesn't mean he's terrible. But personally, that's the reason why I'm not even gonna really argue with him being an A. You guys can make the debate saying that he's an S. EX Ganyu, he's a good option. Let's see, Red Frieza, I can understand why he's an A now. He never really was all that impressive to me, in my personal opinion. That's just me. Green Gohan, Future is in such a weird spot. It's hard to me to even evaluate Future units, but if we're talking about just him as a unit, he's really impressive. I actually, you can make a debate that he's an S. I actually do like this unit, but I feel like his green card is his biggest asset in my personal opinion, and he does some decent blast damage. I don't know why they have it with all these future Gohan units where they just meant to have it where somebody has to die, or he has to die before you can really see their true potential, stuff like that. But there's that. Always have to be something evolve around Trunks or something like that, or somebody dying. Makes sense, but no, there's just my personal opinions on that. Tapion, I can understand why he's an A. Like he was just like a placeholder on Saga from the movies. I still feel like he's debatable S, but I can understand him being an A. Zangia, I feel like she's S as far as extremes go. I feel like Zangia's S. You run her with Bojack, still one of the best combos in the game, in my personal opinion. But I can understand why some people put her in A. But I still really do like Zangia. I feel like she's S as far as extremes go. One of the best extremes in the game, in my personal opinion. This transforming Goku, never really been a big fan of him, in my personal opinion. The one from the Android 13 movie, he just is cheeks, bro, in my personal opinion. Like, he has his utility, don't get it twisted, he has his utility, but his damage just always throws me off. Like, bro, he's mostly best scenario cases when he's a last minute standing unit. That's when you're gonna be using him the most. Gold Tanks, he's falling off. He's nothing too crazy now. Ever since they nerfed his fame. Kid Buu, sadly to say it, I've said it since the day he came out. He was never really that impressive to me, and his kit would just seem way too gimmicky, in my personal opinion. And I think a lot of people are starting to see that. Man, y'all gotta listen to me, man. I played this game for a long time. I can just kind of sense certain things, and I've been said out like, bro, Kid Buu is he's not really all that, man. And people were having these long ass debates with me. I'm just saying, like, look where he's at now. It's only been how old, and he wasn't really meant to last. He was just, he felt like a filler option the way they decided to do his kid and stuff like that. The yellow I was about to say Bojack. The yellow Bardock, he's pretty cool for saying it's nothing too crazy in my personal opinion. He has his utility, but outside of that, nothing too crazy. Decent defensive unit, also a good support unit if you let him die. But there's that. No, decent in certain ways, but no, nothing too crazy, nothing too spectacular. Ribian, personally, has about her own. Yeah, I do feel like she's not nothing too crazy nowadays. But if you still have the Universe 2 trio, I still think that, no, that's still one of the best trios. But like I said, I try to look at individual units here and the individual kits, and yeah, it's just not that impressive anymore. But she still can tank fairly decently well, in my personal opinion. She's still a solid unit. They're just units that are better than her now. So yeah, that's why she's down at A. Kakunza, I don't make the argument that Kakunza is actually an S. I actually make the argument that Kakunza is actually an S. I really do like Kakunza. Sadly to say that her team is just kind of, for female warriors would just never get the love as some other teams. It's sad to say, man. That's why I'm interested to see how this month is going to play out. See if they're going to drop some new waifu units, some new female warriors for Valentine's Day like how they did last year. I'm interested to see how good they're going to try to make them to make this team actually relevant again, because these guys, like, there's still some decent options of female warriors, but the teams are really not popular, so you just don't see it a lot. But no, they're not nothing too crazy, but they're still a good team if you decide to run them. So alright, so yeah, I think I'm done here, because every other unit, as far as I'm looking at, they are just about in the right about spot where I would keep them at. I wouldn't put them anywhere else, and there's not really much to say on these units. They're just about where they deserve to be. Alright, so it's your boy Kaike. Go like Scott from content. Tell me what you guys think about this month's tier list. Tell me what you guys think about all the new units. Tell me what you guys think about units you are hyped for, or anything that involves the tier list, new units, or anything you guys can talk about. And you guys know I do be in that comment section ready to respond. So, you know, I don't mind debating. Like, debates are cool, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it's your boy Kaike. Go like Scott from content. Tell me what you guys think of this month's tier list, all that stuff. Okay, I already said that. Yeah, and yeah, I think I'm gonna end the video here. And I'm out.
Nigga, Gogeta is beyond broken, bruh. Come on now. Stop fucking playing with me.